Yo, what is up, my little Logies? My name is Logan, and I hope you guys are having a great day so far. So I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I was not planning on getting Call of Duty Vanguard. I literally just got it the day before it came out as of this recording, and I caved, okay? So this is not a biased review by any means if you're gonna think that me going in. It is not. This is just my first thoughts on the multiplayer, and let's get started. So the way this video is gonna work is that I'm gonna give my positives straight up front, then I'll do negatives, and then I'll give my other thoughts, which is pretty much falls into the category of not a positive nor negative, but you guys should know about it, and it should be addressed. So let's get started with the positives. So the first thing that you guys need to know right away is a lot of the glitches have been fixed. The one that I noticed right away is with the sniper scope in the beta. There was a little glitch where if you zoomed in on a sniper, the crosshairs wouldn't line up with your scope, if that makes sense, and that is thankfully fixed and it looks great now. And all the reticles definitely have been touched up, and you can tell right away. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that has noticed that. And like I said, a lot of the glitches have been fixed, and it is running, I'd say about 90% pretty smoothly when it comes to glitches that I noticed from the beta. So, which is a great thing, obviously. In my opinion, menu navigation is easier than ever, and it was already pretty easy in Call of Duty and Modern Warfare, and even Cold War isn't too bad. Well, Modern Warfare, I think, had the best ones before this, but I think it's even better now. A perfect example is when you're customizing your weapons, you can just tap R1 or RB or scroll to your the right tab when you're doing it, and you can see your next camo unlocks without even going to the camo tab, which I think is a little bit easier because it just kind of tells you right what level you unlock it at without going through all the extra steps of going through like the certain menu tabs for camos, and that's just a little example. But like I said, I do think menu navigation is a little bit easier. Next thing is that guns sound and feel really good. Now, in my opinion, one of my biggest complaints about Cold War, and really, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the Treyarch games, is that their guns don't have really any impact or realistic feel to them whatsoever. And now I understand, like, some of the Call of Duties that are futuristic, they are obviously not meant to sound realistic by any means, but I think Treyarch's sound design is kind of poor compared to Sledgehammer's and Infinity Ward's at this point. So pretty much Modern Warfare, in my opinion, had the best sound design, and this is pretty much right on par with that game. And I think even the hit detection sound, the hit marker sound, I mean, sorry, same thing, right? Has a really good sound. And on, I believe, Cold War, if I'm not mistaken, I had changed the hit detection sound because it sounded off to me. So this game has a really good hit detection, so I give it props for that. Also, in my opinion, I believe that the maps are really good and really well designed. And what I mean by this is it doesn't feel like you're running around for like 9 hours just to find one person to kill. And I'll talk about this a little bit later, but thanks to the new Blitz mode, it really helps out your encounters when it comes to enemies, because there's like obviously I believe 3 different types of game modes. I don't know the exact names, but one's like a casual, kind of 6v6, and I believe the next one is I don't remember. It's like or something like 12v12 or something along those lines. And then you got the third game mode of Blitz, and it's 16 versus 16, which dramatically helps the bigger maps out. And I think they did a great job implementing that into the game. And I think that's kind of where Call of Duty Modern Warfare failed at for me, is the maps, because they were so big and they looked great, but there was just not enough, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, Interaction, there we go. Not enough interaction between the players for just 6v6 maps. And I know there was ground war and stuff like that, but there was only select few maps, and they got kind of boring after a while. Well, I guess I really don't need to cover the Blitz section I have on my notes here, because I pretty much just covered it just now. So we're going to skip on to the next note here, and that is the best looking COD to date. Now, some of you be like, oh, that's a no-brainer. Well, in my opinion, it's not a no-brainer, because Cold War, in my opinion, kind of took a drastic step down from Modern Warfare, and that was released on the PS4 as well. I feel like it had way more of an arcadey look, which is fine for Call of Duty and all, but I really feel that Vanguard takes the most advantages of the PS5 and Xbox Series X, and of course PC. and you can really see the draw distance, which is a big thing I noticed right away, and it's especially improved from the beta. And I think everything seems really detailed when it comes to your weapons, and just all the minor details that you notice throughout the maps and your guns and all that good stuff. Now this is just a small little, I guess, positive, nothing too crazy here, but I do think that the music in this game is pretty solid. I really enjoy the opening when you first load up the game. That music is really good. It's nothing compared to like Black Ops 2 or nothing like that. You know, that'll still always be my favorite, but it is something to be noted. So the next thing here is that you can peek through little spaces in the environment. And what I mean by this is that there's no invisible barriers to block when you shoot your gun. And it really just makes you more engaged. So like a perfect example is you can shoot through car windows in this game. And I think that's a great idea to get you more engaged. And also like maybe little crates you can shoot through, which is, I don't think I've ever seen that before. So I really appreciate the attention to detail and the engagement that they're trying to go for here. The next thing here is something that they just implemented this Call of Duty, which is a voting system for the MVPs at the end of each match. And I really enjoy the idea of this because it gets people engaged, and I think it's just a neat idea. Now there is a couple things that I think needs to be tweaked, which isn't necessarily negative, just a thing that I would personally change to get it more exciting, I guess, when you see it come up. And that is pretty much the cutscenes that they play when you have three different people coming up for the MVPs. It's all the same kind of like you hit them with a pistol and everyone goes to like the voting section of the MVP or whatever you'd call it. I don't even know what you'd call it. But pretty much the same cutscene every single time. And they're not bad cutscenes. They look really nice. It looks very polished. That's not the problem. It's just like the same thing. And I think it kind of should be a little different. But like I said, it's not a huge complaint or anything like that. It's really more so a positive than a negative. Next positive is that kill streaks are back. And if I'm not mistaken, score streaks were in Cold War. So I do believe kill streaks are finally back, and I really enjoy kill streaks way more than score streaks because kill streaks actually take skill. You get to get kills with your own gun. You don't have to sit back and just get points racked up on the side just by doing nothing from either your teammates or anything like that. It actually takes some skill to get kill streaks, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate that. It's something simple, but I feel like every Call of Duty should have kill streaks and not score streaks. Now this next positive is just a little minor one, but I do appreciate the fact that they did this, which is neat operator intros. And if you don't know what operators are, they're pretty much the characters you can choose to play as. And they're nothing really crazy to get crazy to look at or anything like that. There's nothing crazy skins or anything like that to buy like in freaking Modern Warfare. We can be Ghostface, which is, hey, I'm excited for the new movie, by the way. Scream, looking good. Regardless, the operators itself are simple, but they do give you a little bit of a backstory for each operator, which kind of gives them a little more depth to them, and it makes you kind of care about them to an extent, you know, because I don't remember her name, but there was this one lady I unlocked that said she was a professor, and she's very smart, like pretty much like top of her class was implying. So I think that's a really nice thing to do. And I do believe that in some other Call of Duties they did have like a little description of your character, but no one's gonna read that. Who's gonna read? You know, at least give me a cool little cutscene, which is what they do. So I appreciate that. Okay, and the last positive I got on my list at the moment here, like I said, it's just my first thoughts, so I could probably come up with more if I make an actual review. And that is Patrol, which is a new game mode that they implemented, is a really fun and good idea. And I am not too big on usually newer game modes because a lot of them are pretty dumb and just kind of not really fleshed out enough, you know. So I really think Patrol is a great game mode. So pretty much the idea of it is it's kind of like Hardpoint, but the Hardpoint pretty much moves around and it's circular shaped. So it's really about it, and I really just think it's simple enough where anyone can really do it, and people will just enjoy it because you got to kind of move with the circle. And I'm sure other games have did something similar to that, but I enjoy Call of Duty kind of taking their own spin on it, so I really like that. Alrighty, so now we are on to the negative section. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, there's only two negatives that I could really come up with that I even noticed. And I've only been playing for a few hours, so I don't notice too many crazy things. I'm sure I'll notice eventually some more negatives, even and positives and other stuff like that. But like I said, only a few hours in the game, so I'm only gonna notice so much. So the first negative that I only noticed once or twice was that the sound bugs out randomly, like your audio to your game just kind of like stops, and then a few seconds later it will come back on. I don't know what that's all about, but that needs to be fixed. The last negative I have on here is that the kill feed needs reworked. And then don't get me wrong, it's not a bad looking kill feed. The main problem I have with it is that the font size is all over the place. Like, if I'm not mistaken, the longer your name is, the smaller your text is, so it can kind of fit everyone's name in there, which on paper that makes sense, obviously. But it looks horrible. I can't even read my own name half the time, and my name's not even that long. They need to do is just kind of make all the people, all the gamer tags, or whatever you call it, I guess PS Online IDs, you know what I'm saying. All the name tags, make it all the same size, and just kind of deal with it. Like, no one's going to complain if it takes up a tad bit more of the screen or anything like that, you know. And if it's even an issue, you can make an option where you can make the kill feed smaller yourself. You know what I mean? There's nothing like insanely horrible. You know, I'm not gonna be looking at the kill feed 24/7. But when I do look over there, I would like to see a working and readable name tags. So now we're moving on to my other thoughts, which, like I said at the beginning of the video, is just kind of things that need to be addressed. They don't have to be necessarily good or bad. That I think you guys should just kind of recognize that's in the game. So the first thing is that we got calling card frames and player titles, which I'm assuming calling card frames is pretty self-explanatory, just something that goes around your calling card for more effect. And player titles, I'm assuming that could mean if you unlock a challenge, it gives you um, uh, kind of like a little motto, I guess, if that's the right word I'm looking for, next to your name or something like the destroyer, you know what I mean, like something along that, like player titles, if you know what I'm trying to say. But regardless, that is probably something more to grind for, so I guess that's a good thing. The next thing here is camos are kind of so-so in this game. I haven't unlocked them all, obviously, but from what the ones I've seen, they seem pretty generic. But the new Damascus camo, which is called Atomic, not necessarily a bad camo. It is an animated camo, which I do prefer. But it looks like a fruit roll-up. If you guys have ever had a fruit roll-up, which I'm sure you've had, who hasn't had a fruit roll-up, it looks like a fruit roll-up that's animated. And I don't know how to feel about it yet, but I think I like it more so than I don't like it. It's just something to get used to. But I will say the zombies one is a lot better, which is called Dark Aether, I think is how you say it, and it's just like green and black stripes that is animated. It's a lot more simpler, a lot more clean. I think they should do it with that one or something similar to that. And something's not all crazy like that. So anyways, so pretty much this is the end of the video. So I am definitely enjoying this game for what it is so far. The maps is really well done. The gameplay's feeling pretty smooth, um, very polished, which is not usual for a COD game at launch. So good job, Sledgehammer Games. I'm really excited to see how this game's going to turn out in the future. If anything else dramatically changes, I will be making a actual multiplayer review. I may be making a zombies review and camping review. I'm not too sure yet. I'm going to see how I'm feeling up to it. If not, this is the main ideas I have so far for multiplayer. So anyways, guys, like I said earlier, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everybody.